We are live. We're alive.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Jeff and Dan Show. This is the show that talks about everything and talks about nothing. That was our producer just going over the budget one more time.
There we go.
Good evening, folks. I am Dan of the Jeff and Show. What did I say?
The Jeff and Show?
I am Dan of the Jeff and Dan Show.
That's right. And I am Jeff.
And this is Jeff, and you are not.
What's happening? That's right.
I have a very important question for Jeff.
Okay.
Have you ever been reading any kind of information on the internet or a story or something, and all of a sudden you see a sentence that goes kind of like, after you open the bottle of soda, ampersand, amp.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
What does that mean? Why is that there?
You saying you see the ampersand,
You see
then the word amp,
and the word amp,
and then usually a semicolon.
So usually a semicolon,
and
yes.
Sometimes maybe not even a semicolon.
Or a whole colon.
Or just the rectum. Who cares? Rectum? I barely know him. Okay. What that's called is an HTML entity. An HTML entity means, okay, so that the language doesn't get confused. So when you see an ampersand, sometimes in programming language, that ampersand can mean something else. Okay? So it can mean like a part of an equation, or it could be part of some other kind of programming language. So in order to get around that, what they did was they created the HTML entities. And basically all that means is they take the ampersand, which usually starts any of those out, and then they put the shortcut for whatever it is behind it. In this case, it's amp, which is short for ampersand, and then a semicolon to end the sentence. Sometimes you'll see it with things like L quo, or you'll see R quo, which is L quote, left quote, R quote, which is right quote, which are the not, just a generic quotes, but they're actually like hooked in the right directions. Sometimes you'll see quote, it's Q-U-O-T, which is just the generic quotation marks. Sometimes you'll see L arrow without the W, so it's L-A-R-R-O, so it's a left arrow. Sometimes you'll see R arrow without the W, and that's just a right arrow. That's what HTML entities are. What you're seeing, though, is a failure on that website's part to decipher that this is what they mean. Okay? So basically, instead of that being there correctly as it should be, it's just showing you the HTML entity version of it. It has not been decoded. Sometimes that happens. The reason why it happens is because they've put it in their code in a specific way that the browser, whatever you're using to browse with, isn't deciphering the HTML entities. If you put in into code, what they call code, it's just an HTML tag called code. If you put it inside there, it will show you the ampersand, and then amp, and then that. It won't decode it. So I mean, there's numerous reasons why it doesn't decipher it, but
It's a coding error.
Usually a coding error.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Because
sometimes
honestly,
you get emails like that, like the subject line of the email will have that shit in it. It's like ampersand hashtag 3902 fucking pound. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Well, for the longest time, I kept trying to figure out what do they mean by ampersand amp.
Yeah, it's just ampersand.
It's just, what do they mean? Why am I seeing this here?
Yeah.
So I started using it in my stuff.
And if it's getting deciphered the correct way, it'll come up just as an ampersand.
Dear prospective employer, ampersand amp. Semicolon.
Very cool.
But, yeah, well, thank you. Now I know what that is, and now
Yes.
I can just look at people and think that they are lesser of a life former than me.
That's right.
Whenever I see them in their bad coding.
They're terrible coding, yes.
Yeah.
Or they're understanding coding, anyway. But yeah, so. Anyhow, what else is going down, good sir?
Well, one of the other things that I totally didn't bring up, because I'm not sure how to bring it up, but I want to talk about the bereavement clowns. I mean the Cleveland Browns.
Bereavement clown. I was sitting over here thinking, oh my God, they have clowns to make you forget somebody died?
And how did he die? Bang. 32 clowns fall out of a hearse.
Oh shit. That's just wrong.
No, I think it is just totally amazing what's going on in football right now, and it's got me thinking about maybe even giving up on football again.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe I'm just going to leave the church. Just going to leave the church to the NFL. I did not like what I saw.
Okay.
And maybe because I'm a Steeler fan, Pittsburgh didn't start it. I look at Cleveland starting that. I watched it again and again and again. And if you will watch the clip of that fight between Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback threw the ball.
Yes.
As soon as he threw the ball, should have been hands off, right?
Right.
Myles Garrett comes over and was hugging him and 5 seconds later, still hugging him. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Why wasn't there a flag thrown about that?
Right.
Because that's roughing the passer.
Right.
Nothing happened on that. Unfortunately, Mason Rudolph took matters into his own hand, and they got into a little fight, and then a helmet wound up in the bad guy's hand,
Yeah.
and he clubbed him in the head.
Yeah.
Couple things with that.
Sure.
First of all, about 3-4 years ago, it happened in a high school in Pennsylvania, Anvil versus Hamburg.
Oh wow.
And I'm not sure which team did what, but a helmet came off, and one kid started beating the other kid with it.
The one that lost his helmet.
Yeah.
He started beating him with it. Wow.
Yeah. And you know what happened to him?
No.
He was charged with assault.
Yeah. I could see that.
So we're charging a youth with assault.
Right.
Why are we not charging a grown man with assault?
Right. Exactly.
And I look at these things, and I'm big into Twitter now.
Yeah. Good.
I like Twitter.
Twitter's cool.
But, I see all the Steeler fans, and I see all the Cleveland Brown fans, and I see both of them higher than high. I'm the one that's high. But I see them acting all high and mighty.
Right. Sure.
And thinking, what's wrong with everybody here? It's just a game, first of all.
Right. Exactly. Why is everybody going off about this shit?
And I even seen that made me so mad I want to kill Myles Garrett. Calm down, dude. Don't.
Let's not go that far. Yeah.
And I saw that out there.
Yeah.
And so we had the rematch this past weekend,
Right.
where the bereavement clowns came in and lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, Stoners.
Yeah.
And
it's because they didn't Myles Garrett.
I went back on Twitter and I saw a rant by a Cleveland fan. Dude, it was sad.
Yeah.
This guy put all his eggs in the Cleveland Browns basket, and he got disappointed for it.
Yeah.
And now his life is a wreck.
Yeah.
You were watching way too much football.
Right.
When this goes on. You're putting too much stock in a game.
Yes. Your life is basically built around whether or not your team actually exists or lives or plays well or does bad or
heading north or heading south.
Right, exactly.
And I notice with myself, and I know I'm not alone. When my team is heading north, everything's great.
Yes. You're elated and everything's wonderful.
When my team is heading south, we are in for a shitty week.
That's right.
And don't even talk to me about football.
Right, exactly. It's a showdown, shit down. Exactly. Well, here's what I have to say about that. If you watch the footage very, very closely, okay, I'm not taking anybody's sides. I thought the whole thing was just fucked up. Like, the whole situation was fucked up. But if you watch the play, you will see that Garrett did hit Rudolph way after he should have. And it was a bad situation. He should not have hit him. And he took him down. And it was vindictive. You could tell he was out to take him down for a purpose.
There was a penalty there that should have been called.
Yes. But if you watch very closely, because they have it in slow motion on YouTube, if you watch very closely, he takes him down. As Rudolph is going down, he starts trying to push Garrett off, and what he's doing is he's pushing him underneath of his helmet. Okay, and that's exactly what you can see, like Garrett's head, like pushing upward, and he's pissed. He's not face masking him. He's got him on the side of the helmet, but he's got his head in an awkward position. They hit the ground. That's where that all gets to. Garrett finally gets off, but when he's getting up, he grabs Rudolph's helmet and yanks and pulls it completely off. And at first, it doesn't look like he's going to do anything with the helmet, but then Rudolph, I guess, is just saying some weird shit or doing something. And when he goes around, I don't know if it was Pouncey or who it was. DeCastro. He walked around DeCastro, and that's when he came over and he whapped him right in the head. I can see losing your temper, and I can see that kind of happening. I know, Lord, when I played football, I did exactly what Marquise Pouncey did and took Castro to the ground and was pounding him in the head.
I think I would have too.
In the helmet. Now, here's the really messy part about this. Pouncey got suspended 3 games for hitting him in the helmet. Now, it's kind of like getting high at the Olympics. You're going to get stoned and then go do an Olympic event. You should get double medals. Because if you're able to fucking complete your event and be high at the same time, God bless you.
You deserve 2 gold
You deserve
discs.
2 gold medals, that's right. Same thing with Pouncey. I don't think he should have gotten anything of what he got, because when he was punching him square in the fucking helmet. And honestly, he didn't land a blow that was going to hurt this guy. It was just something where he was just... And it was pretty forceful punches, too.
Pouncey's dumbass could have got a broken hand.
Right, exactly. So that's what I mean by the whole high fucking Olympics thing. He put himself more at risk than he did actually doing any damage. So I think that was kind of, I think that was the NFL sort of saying, well, we're going to have to be fair about the whole thing, which is just bullshit. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily. I think, honestly, I can see where it went awry. I can see that Garrett went and did the wrong thing. He should not have hit it. He should not have yanked his fucking helmet off to begin with, but he should not have hit him in the head with it either.
I guess maybe Mason shouldn't have called him a nigger.
Really?
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No.
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
Oh, shit, no.
Okay.
I didn't hear that. Oh, boy, the N-word came a-flying right out there.
Right after the game, that was not mentioned.
Yeah.
The whole week long, it was not mentioned by anybody.
Right.
Nobody heard of this.
Right.
Myles Garrett's suspension hearing comes up. Oh, he used a racial slur. No, that doesn't smell like a lie and excuse at all, does it? Doesn't smell like a cop out or making up a story. It doesn't sound like that at all.
Yeah. It sounds like he was using that just to be able to get out of his suspension.
So, yeah, Garrett learned nothing.
Right.
Learned nothing.
Yeah.
He's gonna make up stories now as to why he hit him in the head. He's gonna make up stories to excuse himself.
Yeah. To pull out the race card for that kind of thing. Now,
I'm tired of that fucking race card.
I don't know if it means anything that he did or didn't say it. Honestly, if he did, that's kind of a dick move of him to do that. But that's going to be hearsay. It's between him, and there's no way we're ever going to know. They're not mic'd up for that kind of situation. So to pull that out and then be like, well, I'm the one that hit him, but he's the one that said this. Yeah, it looks exactly like you're saying. It sounds like it's just bullshit.
We didn't hear about this after the fight in the locker room.
Nothing about it all the way up until that point.
When's your mouth the most loosest? When you're mad?
Yeah, usually.
If something happens and you're all mad like that, you're not going to bring up the fact that he called you a nigger?
Exactly, yeah. That kind of does add the shit to it. But at the same time, I see what you're saying about the whole football thing. And honestly, my feeling, the way I'm compelled to feel as of late is I just watch football for what it is. It's just football. It's almost the same to me as if I were to sit down and watch wrestling.
That's probably how
that's how you should look at it. To be honest with you, that's how you should look at it. But not in the way that these people get very obsessed with, you know what I mean, like the wrestling. Like they're like, yeah, Hulk Hogan, yeah, yeah, you know. Not like that.
It's
watch
not
it.
real.
Just watch it, have fun watching it, and be done with it. It's over with. Oh, look, Hulk Hogan beat Randy Macho Man Savage. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. Not get all completely invested in it. Just watch it, have a good time, and move about your way. You know what I mean? Imagine like you're sitting at a party. This is a really great way of doing it if you think about this. This is how you should watch football when you get older. You're at a party. You want to be there. You like all your friends. Everybody's having a good time. Nobody else is watching the game. You are. You're the only one watching the game. Everybody else is having fun. You want to be having fun. So you watch the game, but you have fun too. See what I'm saying? So that way you're not completely invested in the football game, and then you go over and do this other. One thing I have noticed, and this is I don't know how to feel about it. One thing I have noticed lately, there a while ago, a couple years back, I would say probably about 3 or 4 years ago, when Hollywood Casino would post stuff on television. The only thing you'd see gambling-wise besides that and PA Lottery. Both of those things, when they had commercials on TV, had these enormous disclaimers. If you have a gambling problem, dial this number. 1-800-GAMBLING, 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-BIG-FUCKING-LOSER. You know, whatever. You know what I mean? They had some shit down there, and that's what, you know, they were really big into doing that. Now I see consistent ads. Dude, almost half of the ads that I see on TV now, about half, are something to do with gambling. FanDuel, fucking this PA, this new off-track betting, this OTB, this Pennsylvania lottery, the come up to Grantville and come up here and do some horse racing, blah 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 blah. All these commercials that are coming on, not one of them are saying, "Hey man, if you've got a problem with gambling, give us a call." Not one. And I've looked, and I cannot find FanDuel. I've seen these online poker. We're back, the online poker. But I watch TV late at night too, so a lot of the times this is late at night. This is not during the day, you know what I mean? It's one of those deals. But I've noticed that they're really sort of taking advantage of people. They're like, as a matter of fact, a really good one is I get an email daily from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Daily. It says, hey man, if you put in $100, up to $100, we'll double that. And in a very small print down at the very bottom of the email in lighter colored font, it says if you have a problem with gambling. But other than that, man, they're just like, dude, come spend your money with us. And I'm just like, this is fucked up, man. This shit is getting really weird.
I think I can see what you mean with the gambling thing, and I think you're right. But I have to say something with that gambling problem thing.
Yeah.
Advertisement. Call 1-800.
Gambler. Yeah.
When we smoked cigarettes, did we ever look at a pack of cigarettes and go, emphysema?
Yeah.
I better quit now.
Exactly. No, but there was a constant reminder every time you pull out the pack and you threw it on the desk, and you're just like, don't tell me you haven't read that thing over and over and over again. Like every one of them, it's like, oh, low birth weight. Well, that's weird. Emphysema. Oh, that sucks. Oh, early loss of childbearing. Sterility. Oh, well, that sucks. Black cancer. Fuck, man.
But that low birth rate ain't going to happen to me because I was born before I started smoking.
I was heavy as shit. My mom smoked a fucking pack and a half a day. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. But the fact of the matter is, it's just a lot of that shit is going on. And so to go back to where we're at with the football, I think what's happening is football is losing its grip. My wife pointed out to me the other night, we were watching where the hell was, Los Angeles, LA Rams game.
I think I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
Yeah. We were watching the game, and she goes, oh my God, there's nobody in the stands. And I was like, I said, well, first of all, LA doesn't like their fucking teams. Nobody in California really likes football.
I got some things to say about that, but dude, you've hit that really good on right then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
No,
You
but
hit that nail right on the head.
yes.
Go ahead.
No. She pointed it out, and I was like, you're right. And then she went on to find out later on that, yeah, apparently California just does not like their football teams. They don't. As a matter of fact, the LA Coliseum, which was there for the Olympics in '84, they built it for that, is now the football stadium. The majority of people that go there are the opposite team's the visiting team's people.
And did you know the Rams and now the Chargers play in the same damn stadium?
Yes.
So when they have to play each other,
Yeah. Who gets the what? Nobody.
who
Nobody
gets
shows
the
up.
locker room?
Yeah, exactly. I think it switches. I think if they play each other twice or whatever, I don't even know. One's NFC, one's AFC.
Yeah.
So they won't play each other twice.
They will. They'll
only play
once
each other
every
once yeah.
4 or 7 years or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, some mixed up numbers. But that's the thing. I think football is losing its grip, and I don't know how to feel about that. I
Well,
spent so much of my youth involved in football that now we're starting to lose this mecca of American, iconability. You know what I mean? Like, we are football. We're described as these disgusting pig fucking players. You know what I mean? Like, this is what America is about. And for a while there, football was bigger than baseball. Still is now, I think. Honestly, because baseball's kind of lost its charm too.
I think so too. But I think what had happened to football, a big chunk, professional anyways. Well, two things. Number one, they got a little sissified.
Yes.
I mean, if you pass interference,
Yeah. Yeah.
or if you go
Yeah, exactly.
roughing the quarterback,
Yeah.
they're just because they got themselves in a little bit of hot water with the C. What's that?
CTS.
S-
Or wait a minute.
the,
Yeah, the
the
concussion.
bruising and the concussions.
Yeah, the concussion.
They're getting themselves in trouble with that, so they want to try and nip this shit in the bud.
Right. Yes, which I understand because I think I suffer from that too. But
I think I may also, but for a different reason.
yeah,
But I could see where they would have some problems on their hands and where they maybe should correct it
sure. Or
without
make
the
it
fear of
easy.
lawyer, but just for doing the right thing.
Right. Right.
The other problem I saw happening is when Colin Kaepernick started all that shit. That pissed off a lot of people.
Sure.
And the NFL didn't contain it to just Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
All the teams started doing it.
Well, I wouldn't say they all started doing it, but I would say that there were a lot of people that wanted to be part of it, and they did it. But I wouldn't say all the teams got involved in it because the Pittsburgh Steelers, remember, they told them, don't take the field. Just stay in the hallway or whatever.
And that pissed off a lot of fans.
Right, right. See, because here's the thing, man. The whole, okay, whether you like Colin Kaepernick for what he did or you don't like him for what he did, the fact of the matter is he stirred up a hornet's nest. And the biggest part of the hornet's nest that he stirred up was the fact that people took patriotism and made that their key source of what he was trying to say. And that's not what he was trying to do. He was not trying to take away patriots or the idea of being a patriot. He was just trying to just basically say, listen, if you follow this flag, you must believe in equality. That's all he was trying to say. He was trying to say, by taking the knee which I think some people went a little too far in thinking that it was just bullshit that a guy can't take a fucking knee. Dude, guys have taken knees during the anthem before. Not to display what he displayed, not his whole spiel about it, but they have taken a knee for it before. For whatever reason they've done it. In memoriam of fallen heroes, after 2001, 9/11. they took the knee for fucking fallen heroes. And,
That's
you know what I
showing
mean?
respect.
Right. And that's kind of what he was doing, but in a way that he was trying to do it for what he considered to be his people. Now, take the lightest colored black guy you can find and have him fight for the rights of black guys, to me, just doesn't speak volumes. You see what I'm saying? Like, it does not, it's not as, I think, I don't know. With him, it's very difficult to explain, but he does not strike me, when I first look at him, as a black man. He strikes me as a Troy Polamalu. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a maybe a Hawaiian or a Sinu or a Polynesian type person. And it could be that maybe he is. I don't know.
No,
although
he's
they
half black,
have,
half white.
although they do have a mixture of black in them, somewhat. The Southern Pacific folks. It's not a lot, but it's there. But the fact of the matter is, they took a guy who, when you look at him, does not strike you as an African American, and he became the centerpiece, the vocal centerpiece for what was, hey, let's just have some equality. That's all he wanted. Okay? But then he took it and he ran with it. And
He's at the 5, he's at 10, he's at 15, now he gets to the 20, he passes the tackle, he's at the 25, he's at 30, 35, 40, and brought down at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, I think he ran too far with it.
Oops.
Look, holding, we're bringing it back 10 yards. He went too far with it. Because I think he let the character build him in a way that he shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? Like, he let it define who he is, and now he's gone to a point where it's like, he'll never come back from that. This whole thing with the, you know what? It's funny because I don't even pay attention to football, but I know all about what's going on in football. It just annoys the shit out of me. But he just had a training camp, and the training camp was supposed to be, okay, we're gonna have you set up to watch. So 22 scouts from different teams can come and watch you, and you're going to do it on this Saturday. Well, Colin couldn't get everything set up for that Saturday. So he didn't end up getting stuff set up for that Saturday. He moved it 3 days away or whatever it was, or 5 days away. So people were supposed to come and watch him do this training camp at that point in time. Well, the weather turned out to be shit, and his training camp turned out kind of crappy, and he didn't get a lot of people to show up. Now, we're talking about Colin Kaepernick. You know what I mean? This is the guy that started this whole rigmarole. And that being the case, you might as well be talking about Antonio Brown. You know what I mean? It's like, he's already tainted to begin with. I hate to put it that way, but he is. He's a tainted soul. But
he's lost credibility.
Yes, because nobody wants an antagonist on their team. Same thing with Antonio Brown. You don't want that guy on your team because he's going to fucking diva up while he's on there, and he's going to fucking, cryogenically freeze off his penis or something. You know what I mean? I just lost 2 feet of penis, man. Shit, it's not cool. I still got 2 foot left.
Well, that's good.
Now we know how you fucking get in there, motherfucker. Yeah, surprise, bitch.
You're so fast because you got 3 fucking legs.
No, but the fact of the matter is he's tainted. Colin Kaepernick is tainted. He's never going to be able to come back from what he's done. And the thing is, it's really fucked up because it shouldn't really be that way, to be honest with you. He was standing up for one thing: Black Lives Matter.
He did it totally wrong. He did it totally. He did it.
He did it the most offensive way possible.
Yes. First of all, dude, an American citizen openly disrespecting the American flag. Okay. Openly disrespecting the American country. Okay. Protesting. Okay. Let's see a Chinese citizen do that in China to the Chinese government and a Chinese flag.
Right, but we don't live in China.
Right. You're never going to see that Chinese man again.
Right. Did you hear about that shit with the Hong Kong? People were getting arrested or yelling their names out on video in order for they say, my name, and that's his name, and he's getting taken away because he wants to be known so that way people can look up at the rolls to see if he's dead.
What happened to my young hentai?
Yeah, he's dead. What do you mean he's dead? He was only taken away for protesting. No, he dead. He gone.
He fell.
Yeah. I hit myself. I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly.
Only in America can
True.
you do that. And so you're protesting a free country because of your freedoms?
Yes, exactly.
That don't make a lot of sense. And second of all, you're protesting but you're protesting, and I think what he was actually getting at was police brutality, which he did raise a good issue.
That's what Black Lives Matter was.
Does raise a good issue. That is a good issue. Needs to be talked about.
Sure.
But you protested while taking a submissive form.
Right, a stance of kneeling down.
Kneeling down is completely submissive.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why people were like, it's not as bad as you think it is. Because he was just kneeling down for the Star Spangled Banner, for the flag, for the celebration of the flag.
You know
all
what?
he was trying to say was, how can we live in a country that has all these freedoms and all this greatness, but then have this brutality happening? Because Black Lives Matter.
Why?
This brutality is happening.
Why? Why is it happening? I got an answer.
No, I know why it's happening. Racist motherfucker. No, I'm just saying. There's a lot of shit that's got. I know why this stuff's going on, but I'm saying that he had an opportunity to protest this in a way that was supposedly not going to be offensive. Then people took offense to it.
And then why didn't you stop? Hey, I'm pissing off a lot of people.
Yes.
Maybe I should change this. No.
Just kept building that.
And the NFL let it go on for 3 fucking years.
Right. He kept growing into a snowball. Then now nobody kneels for the flag I want to keep saying Pledge of Allegiance, Star Spangled Banner. Nobody for the national anthem. Nobody kneels for the national anthem anymore. Nobody does that. Because I think enough people said, hey, look, this is kind of disrespectful in a way. If you want to protest this thing, protest it in the correct way, not while we're supposed to. But you also have to look at it like this, dude. If you've been raised your whole life to understand that mud is sacred, okay? Mud, you have a bowl of mud. This is a sacred thing. This mud for you is very sacred.
Hail the mud god.
Yes, exactly. You have a lot of trust, a lot of faith in the fact that this mud is wholesome and clean, and it is the thing that makes your life. Okay? And then somebody comes along and says, that's dirty. You're going to be offended. You're going to take offense to it. But because you're taking offense to something that is true, is bad. Do you see what I'm saying? Same thing that goes with the flag. You can be an American and not have to be all uptight about the flag. The flag is sacred. Yes, it's sacred to us as Americans, and I completely understand that. But you don't have to get super, super upset over a flag. If he came up and he started stomping up and down on the flag and pissing and shitting on the flag, then yes, I would say you have a case. But all he did was just stop the game before everybody started singing the song.
That's
that
right.
They all drape around the like if he would have come up and kneeled while we were singing, "Oh Christmas Tree," you know what I mean? Would we have gotten as mad? Probably not, because we don't put as much stock into "Oh Christmas Tree" as we do into the national anthem. But it's the exact same theory. Do you see what I'm saying? It's the exact same theory. We put a lot of stock.
I think you're missing some of it, though.
I might be.
What's something sacred to you?
That's the thing. See, I don't carry anything sacred anymore. My children. I mean,
Okay.
That's not even sacred, really.
Let's just take your youngest son.
Okay.
Let's just take your youngest son. No, that wouldn't fit.
Yeah, it has.
I guess what I'm trying to get at. He protested and protested and protested and protested and did nothing but protest. Protest, fine, but do something about it.
Right.
Do something. You want to stop? You want to stop police brutality? Do you really want to do it?
Yeah.
First of all, what did I say earlier? Education, right?
Right.
Put these motherfuckers in a civics class. A cop will not fuck with you for very long if you know your rights.
Maybe,
Am I right?
Maybe, maybe not.
Here, let me turn this on. What you say, officer?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What you call me?
Until you get that police officer who's like, turn that damn phone off. You know what
Oh,
I
wait a
mean?
minute. It's my rights under Supreme Court law. Statute number blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly.
You should have got it in one of your updates. You know?
Should have learned that shit as number one rule when you got into the academy. You know?
Smile for the camera.
Right. But, okay. Equate it to this. When we were 20-something years old, how much did we love the Steelers?
As much as I do now.
I mean, but you probably loved them a lot more then. Like, you had the shit all around your room. You had shit set up in the fucking... We knew the stats. We knew who every player was on the team. We knew what scores were. We knew what the standings were right now. We knew what the potential of them going to the Super Bowl was. We knew every fucking thing you could possibly... Dude, we worshipped the fact that the Steelers played football and we loved watching them play. We'd go out of our way to watch the game if we had to. Shit, I remember you and I going to a fucking bar we had never been to before to watch a fucking game. That's how dedicated we were to it. But as you're getting older, you're starting to realize football doesn't have the same mystical feeling behind it. It doesn't have that same godly power that it had before.
But it does.
It does. It has a pull to it, but you're starting to see where I've already started seeing. It's kind of like one of those things where it's not that big a deal.
We've just taken it too far. We just put too much emotional... We put too much emotional money, if you will.
Yes. Yeah.
Into it.
Yes, stock. Emotional stock. You put too much emotional stock into football, and eventually it's just going to make your brain collapse. Just like you were saying with Twitter, where you see the guys on there talking about the Steelers and the Browns who are just going ape shit, and you had to step back and go, what the fuck?
Your life is being ruined
Right.
by a game which you have no control over.
Right.
This is some of my thing. I'm a fan. I love the Steelers. I want them to win any way they can.
Sure.
There's nothing I can do to make them win.
Right.
There's nothing I can do to make them lose.
Exactly.
I can't go out and buy 2 more jerseys to help them win.
Right. Exactly. You can't go on Twitter and bitch. You can't go on Facebook and bitch. You couldn't take pictures of them. You couldn't catch fucking Ben Roethlisberger fucking some chick in the ass at some fucking Motel 6 and bribe him to get the fuck back to playing football right now to make the team any better. You couldn't do it. Now you see what the emotional value is you have behind that, right? And you see how much you've pushed yourself a little bit of a distance from it, right? So you see that football is important, but it's not that important. Now think of that as the flag. In your 20s, you built yourself up as I am an American fucking patriot. I am the guy who will go the distance for this country. I will do what is required for this country, and that flag is like it's my worship stone.
It's not my worship stone.
Well,
but I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
But he did nothing but protest it.
I'm not talking about Colin Kaepernick anymore. I'm just talking about the flag. I don't even care about Colin Kaepernick anymore. I'm just saying your patriotism altogether.
Well,
You
look,
should eventually
if you can't look at that flag and say, that represents the greatest country in America.
Wait a minute, the greatest country in America?
Yeah. Where's America? North and South. There's about 50 different countries.
That's true.
If you can't look at that flag and say, this is the best country in the world we've ever had,
Yeah.
something's wrong.
Okay, but why?
Well, it could be for any number of reasons. Number one, you could feel burned and scorned over... Maybe you got kicked out of the military.
That could be a good reason. But do you still lose the faith that you have in this country? Do you still lose the faith and values that you possess and the morals and the amplitude that you have to love this country. Not the flag, just this country.
Some have.
Yeah, you can do it. It's very, very possible. And sometimes you can look at the American flag and you can say to yourself, that is a representation of our country, but it does not define who we are. Because that's the truth. You look up at that flag and you say to yourself, that flag represents our country, but it is not us.
Right. It represents our country. And you can look at our flag and say that represents our country. The best country in the world, the only country that will let you attempt to do something to change it to make it better or worse.
True. Well, there are other countries that will do it and let you get away with it, but...
Well, this is something every American citizen has a right to.
Yes. We aspire to have that right. And we aspire to be happy under that right.
So how can you look at that flag and
because the flag is just the flag.
but
Sometimes
what it
you
represents?
Sometimes you look at that flag and yes, it's what it represents. That's what you care about. You don't care about that flag, dude. You care about this country. That flag is just the flag. That's all it is. There are 700 million American flags in the world. Most of them are made in China. I'm not kidding. That's actually true.
I know.
The majority of them are made in China. Do you think those Chinese people look at that American flag and go, "Oh, this most respectable flag ever"? No, they don't. They don't look at our flag and say any of that shit. They go, "Wow, we put this together for 19 cents. You're going to buy it for $27, and I'm going to make this 10-cent profit because my boss is going to make $1 billion." That's exactly what's happening. They don't put as much stock into their flag. China, no other country in the world puts as much stock into their flag as we do. That's not because we're a great country. That's just because we're crazy like that. I don't mean crazy as in bad crazy.
No,
I mean,
I think it's. Go ahead.
I don't mean crazy as in we're crazy, like we're fucking loopy nuts. I mean we're crazy in love with our country. We love the patriotism behind what we see in that flag. But at the same time, dude, when we look at that flag, we need to sort of come to the understanding that we love this country because of this country, not because of that flag. If I'm showing you my flag, if I go outside and I put a flag on my car.
Nice flag.
Exactly. That's a sexy flag. I'm going to flag it. No, I'm just kidding.
Flag it.
If I put a flag on my car, it's because I have a respect for this country that should be understood when you see that flag on my car. You should understand that I am somebody who supports and loves my country. But, and this is the reason why I fight this so much right now, whenever I see somebody flying the flag or putting the flag on their vehicle or any of that stuff, I instantly think to myself, this is a person who is in love with the flag just because they think I'm going to think they're a patriot. And they're not. I think they're a patriot because they're a patriot. I don't give a fuck if they're flying a flag or not. Do stuff to my community, in my community.
Exactly.
To show me that you're a patriot, to show me that you love this world.
Actions speak louder than words.
Right. So don't show me the flag. I see these kids all the time now riding up and down with their UU trucks. And they're fucking
They're
big.
what?
Your UU trucks? You never heard of that term? A UU truck's these big fucking honked over fucking big ass,
UU?
lifted off the ground. Yeah, UU. YEW. Yeah, ooh, you got a big truck. You know what I mean? So these guys are rolling up and down here, and one side's an POW-MIA flag, and the other one's a flag. I remember in my 20s, man, there might have been a time when I'd have done the same damn thing. I might have been riding around in a big-ass pickup truck with my flags flying off the back end, too, looking like, yeah, fuck you, you know what I mean? But now that I've gotten older, I think I look at that shit and I think to myself, what does it represent? What is it representing for you to be driving around in your truck with a big 5x7 fucking flag flying around in the back? What does it represent? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting to. It's not even about Colin Kaepernick. I don't give a shit about that guy anymore. Fuck him. Honestly, I think he did it the wrong way. I think
He
he was just
did.
stupid. He really shouldn't have picked on something like that. But I'm looking at the flag now, and a lot of people are, and people are watching the post show. If anybody's watching, they hear me say this. There's going to be a difference in opinions, and I understand that. Some people are going to say shit like, you know, that makes you a non-patriot boy, you know, and you fucking suck and blah blah blah. You can think that all you want. That's fine. Think that. But they need to know that I love my country. I have loved my country since I've been born. Up until right now, I still love my country, even though it's got its problems. But I'm not willing to put my stock, I would not put my stock behind the American flag. Not right now. Not because of anything geopolitical, any of that shit. Just because too many people are making it they're cheapening it. That's the best way to put it. They're cheapening the flag for me. They're making having the American flag on everything, just cheapening it. It's making it so. Remember after 9/11? Remember everybody, the flags outside their houses and that. At first it was like, yeah, fuck those other countries. Fuck that Osama bin Laden dick and those ISIS pricks and those fucking asshole Taliban and fucking assholes. You know what I mean? Fuck them. You know, American flag, yeah. But after a while I kind of got like, okay, I've seen enough American flags. I think we're good now. We can put them all away. You know what I mean? Now imagine we're not even that anymore. We're not even that anymore. Now we are guys rolling around with fucking flags out, and I'm just like, did something happen? Is there like some kind of movement to take over the United States, and we need to know who's American and who's not? You know what I mean? Like, it's a little much, you know. Don't get me wrong, you know, if you have a shirt that you wear that has a flag on it, more power to you. I'm fine with that. If you have, if you have a little sticker on your car, it's a little flag, that's fine. I'm cool with that. If you're a police officer or a military guy and you've got the American flag on your shoulder, that's great. I'm fine. That's fine.
I'm not.
But if you're out there and you're woo, 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 you know what I mean? And I don't get the point. You know, I don't see what's the point? You know what I mean? What's the point of going overboard like this?
Well, I just think it's unbridled patriotism. That's what I think it is.
Well,
Just, you know how youth just doesn't stop to think about anything and wears and shows everything on their sleeve.
oh yeah, yeah.
And yeah, and loud about what they feel.
Yeah, yeah. I remember it being that way.
That's what I think that is.
But then when I see a 50-year-old doing it,
Hey, nobody saw me.
it was you, damn it! I know it was you. No, to be honest, you know, I don't have any problems when people just want to do that, but when they're going above and beyond to do it.
It appears sometimes it's fake or phony to you.
Yeah, that's part of it, a big part of it, yes. Or no, not that it's fake or phony necessarily, more that it's not a raw emotion anymore. Now it's a sort of a dramatic pause, if you will. Kind of like them being like, I'm American. I gotta prove I'm American. But why? You know what I mean? I trust that you're American, and I trust that you trust you're American, and that you love this country, and that you want to follow the rules, and that you want to do what the Constitution says, and what all these, I understand that. You want to do that stuff. That's great. We all do, technically. Even the ones that have been bad, fucked up, or whatever. They've learned their lessons. They're in prison, supposedly. But why go out of your way now all of a sudden, just in like the past 5 years, 6 years, 7 years? It's been this decade, pretty much, of people just, it's going up and up and up, like where I more and more see these. And I think back to myself, you know, when I was a kid, yeah, I totally understood how that feeling was. And I don't know if it's because I'm getting older now, I just understand more. But I'm starting to just, not that necessarily despise it, it's just I don't have a respect for it. And it's, I don't know, man, it's hard, it's so hard to explain. I'm not disappointed. I just want people just to go back to fucking being just plain, you know? You don't have to wear the Harley Davidson I Love America shirts. You don't have to wear the fucking,
And that's what they are. That's what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, and if I see what you're saying, and I get it, I understand it, and I can agree with a lot of it. But I think that sometimes patriots, that's just who they are. That they have to. It's like the Harley Davidson people that wear everything Harley Davidson. It's like the Pittsburgh Steelers fans that wear everything Pittsburgh Steelers. It's what they are. It's a essential component of what they are.
I see what you're saying. And that makes more sense to me now. Because there are a lot of people out there that do things like cosplayers. People that want to dress up like their favorite anime characters, or they want to dress up like a Star Trek or Star Wars character, or what have you. They have their passions. And they push their passions to that extent, which somebody posted a meme, it was a while ago, posted a meme on Facebook and said something to the effect of, if you disparage someone for having fun playing a wizard, because that's what they really are into or that's what they really love, then shame on you. Because they're just having their fun. And I think that's part of my problem, is that I can't, anybody that's like that, I just can't see why they would waste their time with it. You know what I mean? It's like, anything. It comes down to basically anything. Like, why would you spend so much time, worshiping Star Trek or going after the whole Star Trek aesthetic or the Star Wars aesthetic or
everybody picks 1 to 4 things that they live for.
Yeah. Yes.
They may not even realize they're living for it.
Yes. Exactly. You're right. I have none of those things.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I don't.
You'd have to dig into it.
I would really have to dig hard into it.
I think I could find one.
You would have to dig very deep.
But I'm going to leave you with your homework assignment on that.
Okay, my homework assignment.
What happened to Darth Vader's lightsaber? Does Luke have it?
No.
Did he burn it?
I don't know. That's a good question. Well, supposedly Luke lost his lightsaber on the Cloud City of Bespin.
But it was
when he got his hand. Right. And we never knew how. We never knew how he found it. But we know that after that lightsaber battle he had with Darth Vader, he had a blue lightsaber, then it turned to green.
Yes.
It was a light green, but it was a green.
He had a blue lightsaber and got his hand cut off, and then it fell down into.
And we never saw where it went. We saw it slide down the thing, but we never saw where it went.
And then he come out with a green lightsaber.
Yes.
If you remember in the first Star Wars, in the fourth Star Wars, the sixth Star Wars, A New Hope.
Yes.
If you remember, Ben Kenobi gave him Darth Vader's old lightsaber. That was a blue saber.
And said it was his father's.
Yes, and he lost it.
Yes.
Then he comes out with the green one, and his father says, Darth Vader says, "I've seen you constructed your own lightsaber.
Yes.
Your skills are almost complete."
Yes. Yeah. And
Part of this nutritious breakfast.
And that was in Return of the Jedi. But then in 7...
he built his own saber.
Yes. But then in 7, Rey found the blue one.
From the lady with the orange slice eyes.
Casmanana. The one where she lifts it up and then she's got teeny tiny eyes and shit, and then she puts it down.
The fuck out.
I know, right? One of the craziest fucking
ones. Put that bag back on, please.
But that's the thing. She found his original light, and nobody could explain it for the longest time. It's like, what the hell happened? Well, apparently in canon now, they went back and after the events of Empire Strikes Back, Luke went back to Cloud City to find his lightsaber. Now, here's the thing. They said the lights, because Bespin, which was where Cloud City's at, is a gas giant. It's like Jupiter. It's this giant planet, but it has no ground. So they're like, oh, how did his lightsaber fall into this gas giant? And they would be able to find it.
Came out the other side.
It just kept going. It just kept going in and out. No, I think what ended up happening was it stopped inside of Cloud City. Remember, he came down that big tube, and then like he like if you go back and watch the movie, he actually comes to a stop, and then all of a sudden the thing opens up and he drops down through the thing. That's what they're saying happened to his lightsaber. It got stuck in the tube, but didn't drop out.
If he stopped, then lightsaber had stopped. But hey, I gotta piss.
He got to piss again.
I gotta piss again.
All right, very cool. So we're good done? Okay,
Yep.
go pee. Go pee.
Tell everybody I said good night.
All right, very good. Well, you've heard me go anarchy style tonight, this evening, and I am smoking. Dan says good night. We have done post show. We will be off for a little while, man, till we get the new studio done, which should be in a couple of weeks. Yet another spot for us. So if you like what you saw, like, subscribe, come visit us at jeffanddan.com. You can also visit us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. The links have been popping up down below. Make sure you come and visit us. You can leave comments on any of these things. We love you guys. If we have a chance, I doubt we will, but I want to just say a Merry Christmas to everybody and a Happy New Year, and we shall talk to you on December 7th when we get back. There's our links down there. We'll talk to you when we get back on the 7th, and we should have a good time, and everything should kind of go back to semi-normal. What's normal anyway? All right, man. We'll talk to you guys later. See ya.